भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अष्टात्रयेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवतनेष्टिके। ॐ तत्सत्। ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पुङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं देवतारं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुपयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। गौर भक्त की जय। हैप्पी नरसिंह चतुर्दशी। We'll read about Narasimha's Dev's appearance from Sridhar Swami prayers, and then we'll try to understand the instructions of Lord Narasimha Dev, some prayers. तत्र श्री नृसिंह प्रह्लाद हृदयाह्लादं भक्त्याम् अविद्याविदारणं शरदिन्दुरुचिं वन्दे परीन्द्रं वदनं हरिम्. Of these three, Sri Narasimha is praised as follows: I offer my homage to Lord Hari, who has the face of a lion. He delights Prahlada's heart and tears apart his devotee's ignorance. His luster is like that of the autumn moon. Sharadindu means autumn moon. And then Varendra means like a lion. And Bhaktya Avidya Vidaram, who removes the ignorance. All the six Arishad Vargas in yesterday's class we were discussing. So Lord Narasimha is one of the Paravasta avatar, means the main complete incarnation. Lord Krishna is the topmost, all incarnation coming from him. And then next, almost close to Lord Krishna's full expansion or incarnation is Lord Ramachandra. And the third one is Lord Narasimha. Narasimha Rama Krishneshu Sad Gunyam Paripurnitam Paravastastut Te Tasya Deepan Utpanna Deepavat. Pravasta, according to Padma Purana, Uttarakhand 226.42, Narasimha, Ramachandra, and Krishna are complete in all the six qualities. They are Paravasta forms of the Supreme Lord, like lamps lit from another lamp. So, further, Sridhar Swami, original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, first commentator, original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam. वागीश यस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्य च वक्षसि यस्यान्ते हृदये संवित् तं नृसिंहम् अहं भजे. The goddess of speech resides in his mouth, and goddess Lakshmi on his chest. Complete knowledge resides in his heart. I worship that Lord Nrsimha. गम्भीरगर्जितारम्भ स्तम्भिताम्भोज सम्भव संरम्भ स्तम्भपुत्रस्य मुरणोज्जृम्भितो नृपे. As soon as Lord Narasimha began his deep roar, lotus-born Brahma became stunned. Thus the sage disclosed to the king the fury of the Lord who was born from the pillar. So now that is Narada Muni described. Yatra Sri Saptame Satawaduta Jalada Parapatam Grahas Shatadristi Vimushtarochisa Ambodaya Swasahata Vichukshubur Nirhada Bita Dig Iva Juhur Dishaha. Described in seventh canto, the hair on Narasimha's head shook the clouds and scattered them here and there. His glaring eyes stole the effulgence of the luminaries in the sky, and his breathing agitated the oceans. Because of his roaring, the elephants guarding the directions abandoned their posts. 7832, so the song is quoting. Jostsato क्षिप्त विमान संकुला प्रोत्सर्पत क्षमा च पदाभि पीडिता शैला समुत्पेतुरमुष्य ब्रह्मसा तत्तेजसा खं ककुबो नरेजिरे. Airplanes were thrown into outer space and the upper planetary system by the hair on Narasimha's head. Because the pressure of the Lord's lotus feet, the earth appeared to slip from its position, while hills and mountains sprang up due to his intolerable force. Because of the Lord's bodily effulgence, both the sky and all directions diminished in their natural illumination. 7833. This is all Sridhar Swami is quoting. उग्रोऽपि अनग एवायं स्वभक्तानां नृकेसरी केसरिव स्वभूतानां अन्येषाम् उग्रविग्रहः. Although Lord Nrukeswari is very ferocious, he is not at all fearsome to his devotees. With them he behaves like a female lion with her cubs. But for others, his form is very terrible. Sridhar Swami's commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 791. अस्य श्रीदिव्यसिंहस्य परमानन्दतुन्दिलः श्रीमन्दसिंहतान्तापन्यां महिमा प्रकटीकृतः. All blissful glories of this divine line incarnation are revealed in the venerable Narasimha Tapani Upanishad. नृसिंहस्य भवेद्वासो जनलोके महात्मनः सर्व उपरिष्टाच्च तथा विष्णुलोके प्रकीर्तितः. The Supreme Lord, Supreme Soul Narasimha is said to reside in Janaloka and on Vishnuloka beyond the material universe. In this way, we can understand from Laghu Bhagavatamrita, written by Sri Rupa Goswami himself, writing about the Lord Narasimha Avatar. Uh, Further, now we'll see from this prayer given by this in Harivarsha, Prahlad Maharaj is offering these prayers. With that, we can try to understand. So, where is this happening? Harivarsha. When Maharaj Prevrata entered and ran behind some, he wants to. He was upset. The daytime is less, nighttime is more. He wants more daytime, more time, daylight time. So he ran behind the sun god. He's such a powerful personality, son of Swayambhu Manu, Maharaj Uttamapada and Priyavrata. Uttamapada son is Dhruva. This is Priyavrata, son of Swayambhu Manu, and who received blessing from Narada Muni to perform austerity on Gandha Madhava Parvata. He doesn't want to take up the kingdom. Then Narada Muni and Brahma had to come personally along with Swayambhu Manu to reinstate him as a king because Swayambhu Manu already retired. He came back just for this purpose because he didn't want to take up. Then who was going to do? So finally, he took up under the understanding that he will not be attached to the material energy. So that's how he got the full blessings. So there, so when the seven when he ran behind the sun, so then he created seven holes when he ran on the chariot. So that became the seven islands. Mm. It is called Bhu Mandala. It's not India only. Bhu Mandala. You have to understand this clearly. This is expanded canto for structure of the universe. Atra sargo visargastya sthanam poshanam bhutaya. Manvantra Ishanukada, Nirodho Mukti Rashtra. These 10 subject matters. Sarga Visarga is described in brief in Canto 1, Canto 2, Canto 3 also some extent. And then you have the Sthanam is described from all the way from Canto 3, Canto 4, Canto 5. But Canto 5 is the major portion. Planetary system, the whole thing is expanded. Then 6 is Poshana. The fourth is the after Sarga Visarga Sthanam further Canto 4 also continues and then portion. Portion is protection. We see from Ajamila and we see from also from Murtrasra how Lord protects even though they committed some sinful activities before. So then again, so that's why they mention about the portion Ati Maryada Langitam Bhakta Rakshana Lakshanam. So because they perform some simple activity. So because they perform before bhakti, so Lord appears to protect them. Ajamila, and Vritrasura, and a few others in Canto 6. That's the Poshanam aspect. Then the Canto 7 is Utaya. So then we described yesterday's class, but I will not go into, deep into that. Anyway, in the Canto 5 structure of the universe, it has been explained that about this Bhumandala, 7 islands created by the Maharaj Priyavrata. Within that 7 island, there are 7 oceans. 7 islands are covered by 7 oceans, and within that Bhumandala, it is like a world, lotus, Sahasrapatra Kamanam, Gokulakyam, Mahpadam, Tatkarnikaram, Tadana, Tadanantam Sambhavam. Like Golakundam is thousands and thousands of petals lotus. In the center is Radha and Krishna resides. Each and every petal is one of the gopi. Millions of gopis are serving. So that's how the Golakundam is described. Similarly, this Bhumandala is described as a lotus, not obviously that big lotus. One fourth is only material universe, three-fourth is Brahmanda is spiritual world. So compared to spiritual world, we are very less space, size and space. But for us, it's huge, even that one fourth. So you can imagine spiritual how big it is. So anyway, Bhumandala, within this earthly planet, Bhumandala is 7 oceans, 7 islands, 7 oceans are being created. Within that 7 islands, that is these 7 islands, 7 oceans are in the lotus flower shape. In center, Jambu Dvipa is there. Jambu Dvipa is in the center, like central wall of the lotus, and then the other islands are surrounded by. So then within this Jambu Dvipa, understand within that's why when we chant, I heard I used to be in Florida long back, 2003 or 4, 3, I think, yeah. There they used to chant the Brahmana Dvipara, the Svetavara, Jambu Dvipa. Here we call Jambu Dvipa in India especially, but there they used to call Krauncha Dvipa. So, as I mean, 7 islands. So I haven't seen that in Srimad Bhagavatam, but it must be in some other Purana. So I heard other than Jambu Dvipa, there's Krauncha Dvipa. There must be other five other names, which I don't know. I'll have to check. But within this Jambu Dvipa, there are 9 Varshas. Mm, one is Ilavrata Varsha, Ramyaka Varsha, Hiranyamaya Varsha, Kuru Varsha, Hari Varsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, where Hanuman is chanting Lord Rama's name, Kimpurusha Varsha, within this Jambu Dvipa, 9 Varshas, out of them one is Kimpurusha Varsha. Then Bharata Varsha, this is actually India, Bharata Varsha. Now, Bhumandala is complete earthly planet. India is one portion, that is Bharata Varsha, out of 9 Varsha within the Jambu Dvipa. So India is coming under Jambu Dvipa. So Bharata Varsha is 7th, 8th is Ketumala, 9th is Bhadrasva. These are the 9 Varshas. Out of that 9, fifth one is Hari Varsha. That's where Prahlada Maharaj is residing. That's where Prahlada Maharaj is offering these beautiful prayers in this Canto 5. Please, you can, yeah, unmute, you can repeat. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Namaste आविर्भाव वज्रणक वज्रदंष्ट्रा कर्माशयान् रन्दय तमो ग्रस ओम स्वाहा अभयम् आत्मनि भूयिष्ठ ओम क्षौम रिपीट दैट अगेन ओम नमो भगवते नरसिंहाय नमस्तेजस्तेजसे आविर्भाव वज्रदंष्ट्रा कर्माशयान् रन्धय तमो ग्रस ओम स्वाहा अभयम् आत्मनि भूयिष्ठ ओम क्षौम. What it means? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narasimhadev. Namas Tejas Tejase is the source of all power. Avir Bhava. So please appear. Prahlad Maharaj praying in Hari Varsha, this prayer. Vajranaka Vajradamstra. So, oh my Lord, who possesses beautiful teeth and beautiful nails, just like a thunderbolts, like Indra's thunderbolts compared like that. That's a Vajra means thunderbolt. Indra's Vajranaka Vajradamstra, then Karmasayam. Karmasaya means vanquish these miseries in my heart, vanquish these six anarthas sitting in my heart. Karmasaya. Randaya Randaya. Kindly vanquish. Yeah. Karmasaya Randaya Randaya means kindly vanquish these demon like desires. Tamo grasa grasa. This ignorance. Om Swaha. Then give me fearlessness. Abhayam Abhayam. Atmane Bhuyasto. Put back in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance. That is what. So that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. So, in this way, we can understand. And then we see that from son of four Kumaras explaining to Prahlad Maharaj how to remove this by worshipping the lotus feet, the toenails of the Supreme Lord, worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, always meditating on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Yatpadapankaja पलास भक्त्या कर्माशयन् ग्रथितम् उद्घटयन्ति सन्त तद्वं तद्वं न रिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि रुद्ध श्रोत्रगणा तम् अरणं भज वासुदेवम्. So devotees are always engaged in the service of the toes of the Lord's lotus feet. That's why it is mentioned Pada Pankaja Palasa. Pada is lotus feet, Pankaja is like the petals of the toes, Palasa. The toes of the Lord's lotus, Vilasa Bhaktya. Devotees are always engaged in that service. Karmasayan Gratitam. To what? To remove, to become free from hard knotted desires of for a fruitive act. Udgratayanti means uh, pluck it out. Shanta, Tadvat, so that we can be peaceful. Non-devotees, jnanis, yogis cannot stop the waves of the sense gratification. Tadvat na riktamatayo api ruddha. They cannot do it. Only by bhakti, only by praying to the Lord in this way, one can remove this. It is not possible otherwise. That's better. Although they try to do so, it is not possible. Therefore, you are advised to Slotra Gana Tam Maranam Bhaja Vasudevam. That's why you are asked to worship Lord's lotus feet. Therefore, you are advised to engage in devotional service of Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva. In this way, we can understand how to worship the Lord Narasimha. These beautiful prayers. Now, we'll understand the instructions of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, exalted devotee of the Lord, mm, who has appeared, especially from womb of Kayadu, by the various reasons, as I mentioned, almost six reasons I mentioned. Uh, there, and then later on, when he grew up, around 5 years old or so, then he has been asking. Then Prahlad Maharaj been called by his father Hiranyakashipu. So then Hiranyakashipu asked one day, Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated, Hiranyakashipu was Prahlada Anuchatam Tata Svaditam Kinchit Uttamam Kale Avada Yushman Yet Ashiksha Guru Bhavan. Hiranyakashipu, my dear Prahlad, oh my dear son, oh long lived one, for so much time you have heard many things from your teachers. Now please repeat to me whatever you think is the best of best of your knowledge. Then they ask, like as a father, we ask them, what did you learn today in school? They were and just also ask. Then Prahlad Maharaj immediately replied, without any fear. This is what fearlessness, where it is coming from. Fearlessness is coming from Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Because you know Prahlad Maharaj worshipping. Fearlessness is coming from especially uh, by the blessings of who? Blessings of Guru, Narada Muni. He worshipped Narada Muni. That's why the examples we gave yesterday, that Mahat Anugraha, one must one must receive in order for auspicious activities, auspiciousness to generate in our heart, one must receive the mercy of the spiritual master, few devotees, sadhus, devotees in general, and then Lord will give his blessings by the Mahadanugraha. That's it, so important. Otherwise, the example we gave from Madhavendra Puri so to Iswara Puri or Puri. So one was Mahadanugraha, which is Iswara Puri. because he served menially, humbly, meekly to Madhavendra Puri. He chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and he was reading from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was cleaning all his urine and stool, and because he was old, Madhavendra Puri, he was completely immersed in service of the Guru, and always be absorbed in that mood. But Lord Bachandra Puri, they was not doing, and he was instructing Madhavendra Puri to not cry. He was in Bhava, he was simply in separation from Krishna, he is crying. But Ramachandra Puri is instructing, no, no, you don't try to read, this, that, so other instruction, he is directly instructing spiritual master there. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lila, Mahaprabhu is explaining this. Ye Sri Madhavendra Sri Pada Upeksha Sri Aprade Inhara Vasana Janmila. Because of this offense to spiritual master, immediately he has developed this fruitive mentality, severe fruitive mentality, which became like a, he started criticizing, finding faults with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and devotees, everybody. So he was a great, he was put in great difficulty because of that offense. महद अनुग्रह निग्रह ये दुई द्वारे श्री कैला सिखाइला जगत जने Madhavendra Sripad Madhavendra Puri taught Mahaprabhu is teaching to everybody how by Mahad Anugraha we can develop actually attain Krishna, but at the same time Nirgraha means kopa, means angry and offense to the Madhavendra Puri, and he completely vanquished. So he destroyed all his bhakti. That's why we have to be very careful. So now Prahlad Maharaj, because he has received the blessings of Narada Muni, because he within the womb, he heard. Kayadu didn't remember anything, but Narada Muni remembered everything. Exactly because of the past activity of cleansing the temple, past activity of doing the fasting and waking up. They didn't sleep the whole night until next morning. So because of all this, and obviously he got the blessings of Narada Muni, he taught within the womb. He heard with rapt attention how one should hear. Yasmin Krishna, Sat Krishna Piyushe. So Satkarna Piyushe, Slokanjali Upaskrusya, Durote Karma Vasana. So Satkarna Piyushe is one must hear with rapt attention without any other thoughts, complete absorption. In that way, one who hears then Sakrut very, very quickly, immediately. So very soon, all the karma vasanas from our heart will be removed, then we'll be purified. So that's how Narada Muni, that's how Prahlad Maharaj heard. So that's why he was able to remember, and then he is able to teach. Now he spoke to Hiranyakashipu. He started describing what he learned. He said, read Prahlada Vacha, very very important verse. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam Machanam Vandanam Dasam Sakyam Atmanivedam Iti Pumsatpita Vishnu Bhaktischet Navalakshana Kriyeti Bhagavati Adha Tanmanye Aditam Uttam. The topmost thing he said, Prahlad said, hearing, chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything to him. Serving with body, mind, word, that means. And these are the 9 causes are accepted as pure devotion service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. Here, important point to mention, create Bhagavati Adda. Prabhupada explained in great detail, very, very important. 7th canto, chapter 5, verse number 23 to 24. Prahlad, saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. Adda means directly, not indirectly. Many times devotees do indirectly. That means they will not submit to the Lord. They will first do things, then they will come and ask, Lord, can you accept this? Can you give me this? Can you give me that? Or they will do whatever jobs, investment, this and that, everything first, and then once I get money, then I will offer to the Lord. It's no first. That's not the actual. The path of pure devotion is first you have to submit to the Lord. By His mercy, by His strength, we will be directed what is right to do, what is not right to do. By His mercy, by His strength, we get, then we offer. So first we have to approach the Lord before even to start anything. Not first we do things and then once the things happen good way, then we approach the Lord. No, that is not the way. That's why it is mentioned directly. This is the highest, main important point. So, yes, if it is not possible, then in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining. The best way is to directly worship me, engage in my service, my devotee service. If you cannot do that, then you can work for me. Then, if you cannot do that, you engage in reading and hearing books. You may not be able to come to temple, but you may do indirectly. Your family may not allow you. So many things may go on. Kaliga, this is very much so. Then you can do that from home. You can read books. You can support from external or from outside. And then in this way, Krishna gives almost 5 or 6 layers of indirect service to the Lord because they are not able to come to directly worshipping the Lord, direct service to the Lord, directly first offering. Rather, indirect method is the second way. Even in the 12th chapter about Krishna being compassionate is giving. So, but here, these 9 kinds of devotion service. The chanting the holy name of the is the Yuga Dharma for this age. That's why in last verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam is describing that Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranasam Sarva Dukkha Samram Sarva Dukkha Nasanam Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranasam Pranamo Dukkha Hari I forget the verse already. Where it is mentioned how by chanting the holy name of the Lord, everything, all the impurities, yeah, now Sankirtana Vesa Savapa Pranasan, Pranamo Dukkha Samana, Tam Namam Harim Param, 12, 13, 23, last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. By simply chanting the holy name of the Lord, all simple activities will be removed. Dukkha Samana, distress will be vanquished. No more lamentation, will be peaceful. Problem we have is the we don't have confidence on Guru's instruction. We don't have confidence on Lord. We don't have confidence in serving to the devotees. That's where the problem comes. We are not able to remove because we are not able to get the happiness. I'm chanting Prabhu, I'm worshipping the Lord, I'm doing this for many years. I am not getting happiness. The happiness will come when we are sincerely, fully, depend fully, like Akincha Bhakta. So, that Namo Akincha. Bhaktai, Nivritta Guna Bhaktai. That means you don't have any other. Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim. Kavitam va Jagadisha Kamaye. One is fully surrender, full take shelter of Supreme Lord. Then we become fearless. Fear is coming because of the attack. We are not able to come to that. We are not completely dependent on Guru. We are not completely dependent on Prabhupada, Guru Parampara, Vaishnava mercy. And then Lord, we are directly jumping onto the Lord, asking Lord, give me this, give me that. But actually, it comes through devotee. When devotee blesses, all the examples you see Srimad Bhagavatam, everything is through devotee only, first devotee. Especially the spiritual master, exalted souls. Then by their mercy, then actually we receive the mercy. By their mercy, we'll be able to get the strength. We'll get that conviction, confidence on worshipping the Lord, confidence on fully surrendering to the Lord. So that is very important. Susruso Sadadhanasya. Um, Again and again, Mahatmanas to Mahapartha. Bhagavad Gita talks about this in verse after verse. So that's a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also telling about this. Suite Kayite, one who chants even while eating, while sleeping. So then he will attain one who does that. Kayite, Suite, Yatha, Tata, Namavayo. काल देश नियम नहीं सर्व सिद्धि होय. The goddess of Franklin, one who chant the holy name even while eating or sleeping attains all perfection. Siddhartha Antalela, part of 6th chapter, verse number 18. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will describe it. You can understand the importance. And then further in Chaitanya Antalela itself, we see that out of many 64 items of their devotional service, like here Prahlada mentioning, same thing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is stressing that out of that, nine of them are important. Starting with hearing, and chanting, Sravanam and Kirtanam. This is called Bhagavat Vidhi. Out of nine, the two topmost is chanting and hearing. Always these two are the very important for us. More than Pancharatri Vidhi. Pancharatri Vidhi we follow. While worshipping the deity, we follow. We do the Achman, externally clean, internally clean. We meditate, we do Gayatri. This is internal cleansing. External cleansing is through Achman. And worshipping Guru and meditating on Guru, meditating on Prabhupada, meditating on Parampara, and then meditating on Panchatattva, meditating on Radha and Krishna. Gradually, we go in that motion, then worship Radha and Krishna, 16 upachar we do. This is the process of external cleansing, then internal cleansing. So, then we'll be able to get into that mood. That's why this process is given. Um, that's why Bhagavad Gita is important. Then Panchratri Vidhi we follow. First is Bhagavad Gita, Shravanam and Kirtan. That's why we should chant at least few rounds before we do any service in the temple. At least few rounds, at least minimum 1 or 2 minimum, at least. Because we have to come to that at least some consciousness. We understand there is a certain mode we need to develop. So before we do any service, then we will be able to do the service at least better. भजनेर मध्य श्रेष्ठ नवविध भक्ति कृष्ण प्रेम कृष्ण दिते धरे महाशक्ति. Which gives out of these 64 items, 9 prescribed method of best. These was a great potency to deliver Krishna and ecstatic love for Lord Vishnu. That's why Sravana Kirtanam is Bhagavad Gita is very important. Then Archana, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Vedam, other things are mentioned. Further, Mahaprabhu mentioned that Paramadya Sarvasrishta, Niraprada Nama Loilo, Paramadya Sarvasrishta Nama Kirtan, Niraprada Nama Loilo, Krishna, Premadhana, Namalila Pai, Premadhana. But in this, within these 9 classes, the highest is Nam Sankirtan. So by that, by offenselessly chanting the holy name of the Lord, we'll be able to, by avoiding 10 offenses, one will easily obtain most valuable love of Godhead. So in this, Prahlad Maharaj is giving great instruction. In this purport, Prabhupada goes elaborate each aspect of Sravanam and Kirtanam, Smaranam. If you do Sravanam and Kirtanam properly, then we will do Smaranam properly. Otherwise, it is not possible to remember the Lord's holy names at all. It is not possible. Then Vandanam, by simply offering, one must offer obeisance with feelingly, with affection, it is mentioned in Prahlad Maharaj's pastime. Further, we will see that. So, we'll come to that. We'll speak at that time. And last, become a servant. Saksham, become a friend. There is a with on reverence, Sambrama Sakya and Visramba Sakya. Visramba Sakya is the cohort boyfriends of cohort friends of in Krishna Leela in Vrindavan. They are in Visramba Sakya. But the other ones are Sambrama Sakya. Even the Lakshmi Devi also in Sambrama Sakya. That's why she couldn't go. She couldn't go. So she, I think there are other reasons also. I'll come to it soon. Because that's why we chant that. Chintamani prakara satmazukalpa ruksha laksha uter zoravir abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra sasambrama sevyamanam. How she serving? Sambrama. With all reverence, with meek and humble. Sambrama sevyamanam. So when we serve, we must be in this mood. Sambrama. Always. We must be very cautiously, very softly, very humble mode. One must serve. This is the how to serve the devotee, especially Guru, Prabhupada, and the Lord must be served in this manner. Sambrama Sevyama, Govindamadi Purusham, Tamaham Bhajam. Pada Sevan, she is the expert. So, as per Pada Sevan. So, in this way, we can understand this is how Prahlad Maharaj instructs. Then immediately becomes very agitated. Hiranyakasipu, as soon as he heard the holy name of the Lord, chanting the holy name of the Lord, and about Vishnu, anything about Vishnu, then immediately becomes so agitated and so, he gets very much upset. Then, so then further, then Prahlad, then again they tell, what kind of instruction you have given? Then he chastises a little bit to his Sandana Amarka teachers. And then why did you, how come he was some looks like some enemies. My enemies have tried him to persuade and taught this devotion service. Take him, and then don't worry, we'll take care. He's only a small boy. We'll teach him and bring him. And the next time again, then again he asked. Then again Prahlada started instruction. How did you learn? Prahlada instruction, very important instruction. Two instructions. Prahlada was given. Sri Prahlada was मतिर्न कृष्णे परतस्मतो वा विद्यो मितो अभिपद्येत ग्रहप्रतानां मदान्त गोभीर विसतं तमिश्रं पुनश्चर्वित कर्मणानाम्. It is not possible to come to approach Krishna, worship Krishna by anybody instructing or by your own self. Mati is not Krishna. You cannot put Mati, your mind, your intelligence, your into the Lord Krishna's worship. Mati is not Krishna. Parata Swatova. Parata means either others. Even others may tell you. Or Swatova, by yourself. It is not possible. Mito avipadyeta graha because they are simply engrossed in the this fruitive mentality because of that. Anta Gobe, completely in ignorance. Visatam Tamishram, complete dark well of ignorance. And you are chewing the chewed, same thing. Your parents have done, grandparents have done, past lives we have done. This is what is happening. Again and again we are chewing the chewed. That's why Shastra Acharyas explain, give one example. The rice and rice paddy. As long as any grain you name it like that, wheat are also. As long as it is under the protection, under the shelter of that skin of that rice, skin of that wheat, then it won't spoil. It won't spoil. Even if you keep it for longer period, it won't spoil. Minute you take out the skin, then it will spoil very quickly. Bugs will come, it will spoil very quickly. Because that shell is nothing but the bhakti creeper must be protected by sadhu, shastra, and guru, especially sadhu, guru, especially. And the bhakti creeper is protected, sheltered by the exalted devotee of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord, then we'll be able to progress in devotion service. Otherwise, this panah charvita charavana, panah charvita charavana, we will not be able to come out. We will not be able to even foresee it. Prakshepatmika Shakti and Avaranatmika Shakti works so what do you call? So we will not be able to even come out. We will not able to even realize. So then further Prahlada instruction because they are not able to see it. They don't understand what is the ultimate goal of life because of that. Nate vidu swartha gatim durasaya hi bairan. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. They don't understand that Lord Vishnu is the ultimate goal. Durasaya bairan because there are all kinds of other desires. Durasaya means not the real wanted desire of achieving perfection, achieving Krishna prema, entering into Vaikuntha, serving the Lord. That's not the desire they have. They have all other desires. They are comparing, they are looking at the whole world. So why everybody is not able? Forget about everybody. Think about ourselves. Forget about others. Think about ourselves first. That Lord will take care. Durasya Bahirarthaman. While comparing with others, what they are doing, how much money they have, what car they have, all this comparison, what only material fruity mentality only will develop. It's not going to develop. That's why prasangam ajaram pasam. Sayeva sadhu sukruto. Atmano kavayo vidu. Sayeva sadhu sukruto. One must associate devotees, those who are inclined to the service of the Lord. Then, by their mercy only, we can develop this. Otherwise, durasya ehi bahirabdhamani. They are an external vision. Anda Pandey Upaniyama. They beat Tanta Udhami Badri. They are tied up with the three modes of material nature, especially mostly in the mode of ignorance and passion. They are not able to come out. They are leading the blind. Their examples are blind people because they don't have any consciousness of the highest goal, what is ultimate goal. So that's why we see in today's world all the leaders. Sometimes as devotees also, we follow, we have examples. Those leaders are also in the same mold. They are not after the highest, service of the Guru and Lord. Then what will get by associating with them? Same mentality, same activities will develop. So that's it is very important to understand. And then how will you get? You said You cannot get Krishna or Lord Vishnu's mercy through others, through yourself, by self-study. Then how are you going to get? He's answering this to Hiranyakashipu. He didn't ask, but this is one of the quality. Divina Vatsala. What is the quality? One of the quality we read yesterday in Prahlad Maharaj. One is Dina Vatsala. Brahmanyo Sila Sampanna Satya Sandho Jitendriya Atmavat Sarvabhutanam Ekapriya Suhruttama Dasavat Sannatarya Angri Pitruvat Dina Vatsala. For the poor people, Sadhu is the Dina Vatsala, very, very compassionate. He is always giving. Even if he is not coming, even if he is not coming to service, even though he, again and again, Prahlad Maharaj, that is the reason Prahlad Maharaj is not taking any benediction from the Lord. He was so much, that's why he is teaching Sanda and Amarka and all his school friends. He was so grateful. This is the Prabhupada's mood. This is Prabhupada is carrying the mood of Prahlad Maharaj in Nityananda Prabhu. Because he is so much grateful to his Guru that how can I go? How can I go to Vaikuntha myself? So much to do, so many people are suffering. I should give to others. I have received so much. So Prabhupada was in that mood. That's why he came to West at that age. Because he received from Guru, then he wanted to distribute. And Guru has clearly instructed, go to West and preach. Despite difficulties, and this is because Dina Vatsala. Bhatravat Chaturdasi Snigdho, Guru Shri Iswara Bhava, Vidyadha Rupa Janmadhyo, Manastamba Vivajjita. That's why then our Acharya quote from Vasudev, the father of Lord, Vasudev is speaking to, asking, by speaking to Maharaj Nimi, is asking questions to Maharaj Nimi in 11th canto. There, he himself is talking about it, that how the comparison between the devotees and as to the pure devotees and the demigods, there is a big difference. भजन्ते यथा देवान् देवा अपि तथैव तान् चायैव कर्म सचिव साधवो दीनवत्सला. Those who worship the demigod receive reciprocated from the demigods in a way just corresponding to the offering. If somebody is asking for something, they will exactly reciprocate in the same way. But those are temporary. They are the demigods are attendants of karma, like a person's shadow. Chayeva karma sachiva. Chayeva means shadow. Karma sachiva. That means they will just give you the fruitive activities. Okay, you want this? I will give you this. That's what Hiranyakashipu received. Lord Brahma asked. He asked Lord Brahma, and the Lord Brahma gave all the fruitive, whatever he asked, he gave that. That's what you can get from demigod. But sadhus are actually merciful to the fallen. So that's why you can see Narada Muni was give the mercy to the even fallen hunter. To such an extent, example, you can see that Bharat Maharaj received mercy from also Narada Muni. I believe Narada Muni. Then later on, he didn't instruct. See, so he never gave any instruction to his family. At 30 years old, he left. He didn't instruct his brothers. He didn't instruct anybody. He left to the forest. So, and then next life he became a deer. He was attached deer. Then he became a brahmana, but he was like a dumb, acting dumb. He doesn't know anything. So then he was picked up by. He was harassed by so many people. They didn't instruct anybody. Then he was put as a like in a field to avoid this all the crows and different animals to eat. We put some effigy. So they are like that. They put they found Bharat Maharaj. They put him like that. This is the dacoit. Somebody put him like that. He's not good for anything. So let him put. And then while those who are calling worshippers, they came that way. They were looking for body, somebody to be offered to Lord Mother Kali. Then okay, seems like a nice and stout body, best worship, best offering. So they took him. Then what did Bharat Maharaj do? Bharat Maharaj didn't say anything. He went and they are ready to kill him. They are ready to chop off. They worship Kali. They are ready to chop off. Then Bharat Maharaj prayed to Mother Kali by his power. Acharya explained by his power. He prayed by his power, Tejas, Brahma Tejas, because of his devotional service. Past life and in this life also. Then Mother Kali herself appeared, chopped off all the heads. But because all the sinful activity has been killed by chopping off, but they received higher. Next life they start, they received mercy. Otherwise, Kali is not going to appear. So many people are getting killed. So many people. But here, Bharat Maharaj is explaining, Viswanath Chakravarti Thakur is explaining in this Canto 8, Srimad Bhagavatam, where this, I think not Canto 8 probably, I forget, Canto 6 or Canto 8. Bharat Maharaj giving instruction to Rahu Gana, King Rahu Gana. He was very merciful to Rahugana. King was chastising him like that. Why are you carrying? So like this up and down moving because ants are going, other bugs are there, and he was not stable. He was jumping while carrying the palanquin. So this is after the story. First he gave mercy to these dacoits and these gangsters. And then later on, when then these king attendants found him, then they put him on okay, carry palanquin. He seems to be very strong. Then, while carrying palanquin, he was going up and down, moving here and there, not stable. Then the king started chastising him. He didn't say a single thing. Advesta sarvabhutana maitra karuna nirmamo nirahankara. He doesn't have any concept of I and my, who is friend, who is enemy. He didn't retaliate. He didn't speak a single word. He is completely immersed in Lord Krishna. Then Friend Rahugana understood something is something doesn't seem right. He's not responding. He's not saying anything. Even though I'm chastising, he's still doing continuing the same mistake. Means he's still the palanquin is not stable. Then he understand when he asked, "Who are you?" and everything. Then Bharat Mala started giving instructions. So this is the merciful nature. Dena Vatsala, Sadhavo Dena Vatsala. Again and again we see this 11.2.6, the verse I quoted. So that's why here Prahlad Maharaj is giving the instruction, verse number 32, 7.5, very, very important verse. Naishamatistavat Urukramangram Prasati Anabda Apagamo Vedabda Mahiyasam Padarajo Abhishekam Nishkinchanana Navrinitayavat. Naisham Matistavat Urukramangram. Unless unless we get the dust of the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, completely free from material contamination. Naisha, unless there is no other way. Matis tavad urukramagim. These pure devotees always chanting, glorifying the Supreme Lord. Use urukrama, exalted personality. Sprosati, anartha apagama. Sprosati means by taking their dust. Then we will be able to cross over from all these anarthas. Apagama means crossing over all the anarthas. Mahiyasam padarajo abhishek. The taking the dust of the lotus feet, we should put on our heads. We take the remnant, Maha Prasad it is called. Nishkinchananam apranitya. They are called Nishkinchan. They are Akinchan or Nishkinchan Bhaktas. By serving them, this is the only way, not by yourself. That's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is recommended three ways. We may see some people may not be getting initiated or something. We may see they are progressing or they may. No, it is not possible. There, as it is explained, there are three ways: Paramparik, Prakritika, and Adhunika. Paramparik means they are in the Adhunika means one is the way in the past life somebody started devotion service, already received mercy from Guru in the past life. This life is continuing. So he continue executing devotion service. He may not have surrendered this life act. So, but he is continuing devotion service because in the past life. This is one way. The second way is somebody who has already surrendered to Guru. He is speaking. Oh, this my Guru has said this. Sadhu Shastra is telling this. Shastra is telling this. How to perform devotion service. This is the way we have to perform. This is what we have to give up. This is how we have to chant and read and hear and engage in service, offer mind, body, words, and everything. Service. So he doesn't have full faith, but the person who is hearing is simply convinced. His heart is simple. Then he starts executing devotional service. And Prabhupada said, by reading my books, then they will become. They will be able to get highest benediction. They can enter into Vaikuntha. But that doesn't mean we take that. This means because they are taking faith very strongly conviction. They take the to devotion service very seriously. The idea is from the past life or this life, they are directly through receiving through Guru, through if not Guru, through his devotees. They receiving the instruction by that they are able to take up. This is one way. These are the three ways directly either Guru's instruction in this life. The Prakrita is from the previous life. Paramparik is by somebody, guru, who is initiated, disciple initiated from guru, and then he is talking to others, and they are convinced more, convinced and form faith than the disciple themselves, and they move on much higher speed. They attain Krishna very quickly, more than the disciple, because he doesn't have full conviction. He's speaking, but he's not convinced, but he is convinced. Other person, even though he is not, but he is convinced more than. This could happen. This is paramparic. Prakriti means in this life, one somebody start following the process, first beginning of process of science of self-realization and the surrendering to that is Prakritika. Adhunika is from this life, and the paramparic is may not be directly surrendering, but by receiving instruction through one of the devotee of the Lord, then in this way, in these three ways. But Guru's mercy is there, devotee's mercy he is receiving through bhakta. Without that, there is no possibility of him anybody going. That's why Nishkinchananam na pranitaya. One must receive this through parampara, through akinchana bhakta. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, there is no possibility of coming to that highest nature. So that's why this is a very important instruction. We're all at 6:50, very late. So we'll conclude soon. So then we see that later on, Prahlad Maharaj, then he asked Hiranyakashipu, later on we'll see that after these instructions, then he was again chastised, Sanna Namarka. Okay, then what he did, Prahlad Maharaj went to again, and then they started teaching him. How did you learn? He said, no, he didn't say anything. I didn't learn. He didn't say anything to Sandar Namak. How did you learn? So then later on, when they left in the recess time, he used to instruct all his schoolmates. Then he started explaining how within the womb he received how Kayadu, because for a long time another one is instructing, but my mother being a woman, she forgot. While going through pregnancy, she forgot everything. But I'm able to remember everything. So that's why don't waste time like this. Komara Matre Pragna Dhamman Bhagavatam Tadapi Adruvam Attadam Api Haloke. You don't waste time. 10 years is 10 years or so, 10 to 20 years is gone by sleeping, 10 to 20 years is gone by frivolous activities as a child. So 10 to 20 years is gone in other, taking baths, sleeping, and other things, all those bodily duties. So hardly you have only few years left for your perfection. Then you utilize your time when 5 years old itself. Don't wait till when you are married. I'm going to do this, or when you're old, I'm going to do this. Let me earn money, then I will do this. No, that's not going to work. So then this instruction is given Sandan and all the school friends. Then they started also chanting the holy name. So in this way, so he instructed all the schoolmates also, even the despite difficulties, he tolerated everything. Who is enemy, who is friend? There is no differentiation. He didn't like the idea of this whole becoming a king, becoming the enjoyer, always like the Hiranyakasipu. So he's always. Then Hiranyakasipu, when he performed austerity, then he told one biggest blunder he did is, told, now go and kill all the cows, all the trees, even the trees, all the trees. And wherever the sacrifices are happening, stop that. Kill all the brahmanas. This is the instruction he gave to all his attendants. So because of that, immediately that actually increased his Lord Vishnu has to come. Then he started chastising actually Prahlad Maharaj. Then he put Prahlad Maharaj into so many difficulties. Thrown in the ocean, thrown in the pit, thrown into snakes, and then snakes themselves. Everywhere because he's so fearless, because he has taken completely shelter of Lord Krishna, always remembering the Lord's names. Then Lord himself is protecting. Even the snakes, they told, and we cannot by simply by being in distance of these snakes, that poison itself, nobody can survive. That kind of poison, they brought it. The Hiranyakashipu was so strong, so powerful that he brought the snakes which are there in the patal, lowest. They are very venomous and poisonous. Nobody can even live, even just close by. That much poisonous. Just like Kali entering into Yamuna. Then all the living entities, anybody who's passing even on the sky, the birds used to die by just simply by the poisonous waves, poisonous flames coming out. So that's powerful. But nobody could, even the snakes couldn't do anything, the elephants couldn't do anything. In the ocean they threw it, from the mountain peak they threw it. Nobody could do anything. They tried to beat him. They tried to give him poison. He ate poison, but nothing has happened. Because who is protecting? Paramatma is protecting. Lord is protecting. One who takes shelter of the Lord completely, Kinchana, then the Lord also gives protection in this way. And that's why you can see then in this way it happened. Then suddenly one day Hiranyakasipu came and told, asked, you are saying Lord is everywhere. Then can you show me the Lord? Is he there in the pillar? Then Lord immediately appeared with a huge sound. Satyam vidatum nijivritya vastam yaptincha bhuteshu akleshu atma sambesam adrusya ati adrusya rupam sambesavayam nam rupam namanusham. When he appeared there, he was asking, Kim Stambena Drisate? Do you see the Lord in this pillar? Yes. Prahlada said, yes. Aha. So Drisate. I'm able to see the Lord because he is a pure devotee. He is seeing the Lord everywhere. So then Lord, to prove the statements of his Narada Muni, prove the statements of Prahlada Maharaj true, immediately Lord appeared in this half and half lion because of the benediction given by Lord Brahma to Hiranyakasipu. Otherwise, Prahlada Maharaj worshipping Lord Krishna only. So then Lord had to appear. So there, first immediately, then when Lord appeared like that, everybody was fearful. Then obviously Hiranyakasipu was killed on the in the dusk time. That's why we fast until dusk around 8:30. And then Ekadasi, not grains. Whenever there is a Lord Vishnu's incarnation appearance till evening fasting, it has to be Ekadasi. There cannot be grains after that. So only when afternoon fasting, then you can take grains. Anything till evening fasting, that means you have Gaura Purnima, Narasimha Chaturdasi, Janmashtami, all these must be done with Ekadasi after the fasting till evening. The next day morning after sunrise only you should take grains. This is the process given. Anyway, here, so when Lord Narasimha appeared, then he killed obviously Hiranyakasipu. Then Lord Narasimha, then nobody could pacify him, nobody could satisfy him, nobody could please him. So angry, so angry. Because when Satyam Vidatum Nijabhutya Vajna, Vyaptincha Bhudesh Aklesh Atma. Adrush Ati Adrush Adbhutam Sambesavayam Namukam Amanusham. He appeared like that. Then where is then what did he do? He killed and he put all the blood and he took out all the veins and put him on himself on the head. On the head. Hiranyakasipu all the veins because nobody gave him garland. Lord put him. And then he's searching. Where is so who has stolen my place? Because Lord is stays in Paramatma. Isvara Sarvabhutanam Uddesha Varjan Tispati. He is sitting in the heart of a living entity. Who has taken my place? This heart is supposed to be clean and this is my place. Why did this Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsarya entered into this place? So that's why this is giving, Acharyas give example. When we go in a train or a bus, in a reservation, your seat is allotted, but the minute you give to somebody, sometimes it happens, then or you are not there, then the person will take away your seat, then you will not have place. If you give some space, then that guy also will move, he will bring his son, he will bring his family. Especially in India, we see this. So same way, once you start allowing the Maya to enter and sneak in, one another, then slowly all another will come in, sneak in, and then we will not be able to engage in devotion service. We'll lose our taste for chanting and everything. We'll completely go back to our previous mentality, previous attitude. So that's why here Narasimhadev is appearing and Narasimhadev has taken all these veins and everything, is putting and then searching inside the he ripped off his chest and everything and he's searching. Where is this Kama? Where is this Krodha? Where is this Lobha, Mada, Moha, Matsari? He is searching in the heart of Hiranyakasipu. So this is what the reflection Acharyas give commentary on this is why Lord is doing because nobody has given a garland. So God has put it the veins on his head and he is searching in the heart in the middle of Hiranyakasipu's body. So because to take out this pluck out where is why who has entered my place. So this way that we shouldn't allow anybody to enter in. We shouldn't be complacent, allow all the Maya to enter in. So Bhakti Tripa has to be always protected. All the weeds has to be taken out. We have to understand the weeds. If you don't recognize the weeds, the plant will not grow. We know that while growing even at the home, small plants we grow. Weeds are there, then it won't. We have to very carefully protect it to understand. To grow a Tulsi Marani, how difficult it is. Imagine. That is just Tulsi Marani plant to grow, to keep it alive through the winter, how difficult it is. You can understand to grow a bhakti creeper in our hearts, how difficult it is. Year after year, consistently to do, to not allow anarthas to creep in. It is very, very difficult. Unless we are sober, unless we are consistent, and we are really working on it, understanding that these demons, anarthas, then only you will be able to. So, and not Narasimha appeared immediately. Prahlad Mara started. No, all the Brahma, all these demigods started approaching. Before that, it is mentioned. Praladam Prayasaya Masa Brahma Avasthite Tadantike. Brahma knew. Who is the first problem? First problem is Brahma only. Brahma himself is the first problem. Because he knows I am the one who is given benediction. Lord Narasimha is very angry. If I am first one will be coming into problem is me only. Because I am the one who gave benedictions. So much benediction to Hiranyakashipu. So he is very angry with me. So who is going to satisfy? Who will please him? That's why Lord Brahma was next to Prahlad Maharaj. So you know that only by bhakta, only by devotee, especially great devotee like Prahlad Maharaj, he can only, by his mercy, I will be protected. So that's why, so then he told Prahlad Maharaj, instructed all the demigod tried first of all to go and appease him. So, but they couldn't appease him. So they couldn't appease him. So that time then Prahlad Maharaj being sent, uh, where it mentioned Prahladam Presayamasa Brahma Avastita Antike, very close by. And then he's asking, Tata Prasamayo Upehi Swapitre Kupitam Prabhu. Lord Brahma requests Prahlad Maharaj, who is standing very near him. My dear son, Lord Narasimhadev is extremely angry at your demoniac father. Kupitam means angry. And Swapitre, your own father. Please go forward and appease the Lord. So then before that also they asked Lakshmi Devi. But Lakshmi Devi wouldn't go. तथेक सनकै राजन महाभागवतो अर्पक उपेत्य भुवि कायेन ननाम विद्रुतांजलि. What did Narasimha, what did Prahlad Maharaj do? Before that, Lakshmi Devi, they also asked Lakshmi Devi. Nobody could go, neither Brahma nor Shiva, no demigod could go. By seeing that angriness, then Lakshmi Devi, Lakshmi Devi herself, you may ask question. Lakshmi Devi is the wife of Lord Vishnu. How come she can? She's there always with Lord, is in the chest, is always doing Padasam. How can she cannot go? They explain that one is the he said, no, I never seen. She's not my lord. She's not. She is such an angry person. No, she's not my husband. He is not my husband. By Yogamaya potency, by especially Leela Shakti, Acharya Madhvacharya and all our Acharyas give commentary that by Leela Shakti, because this pastime has to happen. So Prahlad Maharaj has to be with Narasimha Dev and offering prayers and Narasimha Dev giving blessings and massaging and putting his hand, all this, loving relationship. That is the main purpose of Narasimha Dev to come, not so much to kill Hiranyakashipu, but rather loving reciprocation with the exalted devotee Prahlad Maharaj. So that is the main. So then Bhakta Vatsala to prove, to give that evidence to the whole world. So then it has to happen. So that's why Lakshmi Devi, otherwise Lakshmi Devi, as if she is the one who desired in the past previously that how do you fight with the demons? If you are making these sounds while I'm massaging your feet, then how will you fight? I heard you kill demons. Then how will you fight with the demons? So she knew she before, but at this time she has been covered by this Leela Shakti, Yogamaya Patansi. Then she said, no, he is not my husband. I have never seen. Adi Adrusya, Adi Adbhutam. I never seen, I never heard. She said that I never heard, I never I saw it. So he is not my husband. So please, I cannot go. Then Prahlad Maharaj been requested. Where it is mentioned, Sakshat Sri Preshita Deva Društva Tam Mahat Adbhutam. Adrusta Asrauta Purvat Sa Na Upeyaya Sankita. There is mentioned. The goddess of fortune Lakshmi Ji was requested to go before the Lord by all the demigods present, who because of fear could not do so. But even she had never seen such a wonderful and extraordinary form of the Lord, thus she could not approach him. So You can see that's why. So here, then Prahlad Maharaj approached, requested, and Prahlad Maharaj went. In the way how he went, Nanama Vidrutanjali, very feelingly. He never thought I am qualified. Oh, demigods are sending me, I am qualified. That's why they are sending me. No, he never thought I am qualified. He completely, with so much feeling and affection for the Lord. So, because that's what his absorption was whole life. Within the womb, started from within the womb by Narada Muni's blessing. That's why it's got mentioned Mahabhagavato Arbaka. Because the small boy, that's why Arbaka is been mentioned. Then we started, Prahlad Maharaj started offering beautiful prayers, where he is describing this is the quality of a devotee. One must develop these qualities. ब्रह्मादय सुरगणामयत सिद्धा सत्व एकता गतयो वचसां प्रवाह न आराधितुं पुरुगुणैः अधुनापि पितृ किं तोष्टुम् अर्हति समे हरि उग्रजाते. What quality I have, what qualification? I don't have any qualification. I am born a demoniac lineage. I'm Hiranyakashipu's son. I don't have Brahma, Indra, Chandra, all these demigods. They are all the great Vaishnava, great devotees of the Lord. I don't have any qualifications. Neither my family history. No qualification. Kim Toshtamanat. How will I satisfy the Hari? Or there is no way I can satisfy Hari. This first prayer is offering. You can understand how much in humble mode. Then he is further quoting. He is talking about Garuda. He is talking about Gajendra's and Garuda's pastime. So that's why it's very related. 10.30 we were referring yesterday's class. There also Garuda is mentioned. Lord Krishna is so merciful to even remembering Prahlad Maharaj, even in Bhagavad Gita in Arjuna's instruction also. He's remembering Prahlad Maharaj, he's remembering Garuda in connection, and then he's remembering his own form, Lord Narasimha form, bringing indirectly. So very much there in this verse we see in from Prahlad Maharaj's prayers in connection. मन्ये धनाविद रूप तपस् उपवजस तेज प्रभाव बलबुद्धि बलपौरुष बुद्धि योग न आराधनाय भवन्ति परस्य पुंसो भक्त्या तुतोष भगवान गजयोत पाय. You may have all these 12 qualifications. Further verse is mentioning about this. Vipradvi sadguna ita ravinda nama pada ravinda vimukha swapacham varishtam manyeta darpita mano vachane hitarda tanam punati sakulam na burimana. We may be Brahmana, we may have all the 12 qualities of a Brahmana, but as soon as he is Vimukha, is against worshipping the lotus feet of Guru and Supreme Lord. Aravinda Nava Vimukha, Pada Vimukha means against. Then he is no better. He will not be qualified. He will not be never be able to come out from that. He will never be able to attain Krishna or Krishna Prema. He will never be able to enter into Vaikuntha because of one quality against. Even whatever 12 quality he has, that's useless. One quality he doesn't have. That is worshipping the Lord and Guru. Swapacham, even better than him is Swapacham Varishtam, who is the dog eater. But we have developed. Manyeta Arpita Mano Vachana who is the dog eater, but we have taken the process. He has offered mind, body, words. Pranam Punath, his whole life, he has given to worship the Lord. He is qualified. That's why in this previous one, this Manye Dhanabhija, there is mentioning our we are thinking, don't think that your wealth, abhijana, by your followers, rupa, beauty, tapa, austerity, strota, by our scholarship, ojas, powerful, teja, prabhava, our material strength, physical strength, bala, paurusha, buddhi, intelligence. None of them, na aradhanai. Lord will never accept any of this. Na aradhanai bhavanti parasya punso, bhaktya puto, only by devotion. Only by pure devotion you can satisfy the Lord. There is no reason. Why Gajendra's example is given? Because Gajendra, we can see in the life of Gajendra how Lord has appeared, what Lord has done. So Gajendra fought for 1,000 years. There also many instructions are there. In Canto 8, it has been explained how Gajendra was 1,000 years. He was fought with crocodile because crocodile has been cursed by this Devala Rishi to be with the. He has been told only way you can come out of this crocodile body is when you catch hold of a devotee, then you will be relieved. So that's why only by the devotees, there's a Nishkinchanasya, as we heard, just Mahiyasam Padarajam, dust of the lotus feet of pure devotees. That is the only way. Same example has been given. Unless you catch hold of a devotee, then only. That's why crocodile didn't want to give up. 1,000 years he completely fighting, but he never want to give up. Neither eat. The reason crocodile didn't want to eat actually. Crocodile want to catch hold of so that he can be relieved. Because he remembered the curse and blessings of Devala Rishi. Dinavatsala again, Sadhu Dinavatsala. How he will be relieved also has been given by the sage at the time of the curse. Uh, then then Gajendra understood after 1,000 years of fighting, such a strong Gajendra is the king of all the elephants. And nobody could satisfy, nobody could take him out. He himself is fighting, his family members, everybody started crying that they are not able to help. Then he also started crying with so much weakness, no strength left. There it is explained that कुट कारिण्य प्रभवन्ति मोचितम ग्राहीन पासेन vidatur amruto. Then he thought, oh, how piteous my condition is. This is by the will of the Prophet. Vidatu. Vidata has arranged this. 1,000 years of grahina pasena. By this crocodile mouth, I have been caught. Who will help? All this, none of my family members will not be able to help. So then at that time when he's thinking, then he started offering prayers, thinking of the Lord, offering prayers to the Lord. Then immediately Lord was busy playing with Lakshmi Devi, some chess or some game he was playing. Immediately he left. Lakshmi Devi was saying, where are you going? Where are you going? The Lord didn't say a single thing, single word. They immediately left. Then he called Garuda, come on. Garuda, yeah, Lord instructed Garuda, you have to go at my mind speed. Today, you have to go at my mind speed because he understood how important, how emergency it is. Immediately, Lord left. The Lord told Garuda, and then he took him on. Then Garuda couldn't go. Garuda went high speed. At my mind speed, you have to go. Garuda started going full accelerator, full force, but he couldn't go beyond. Then he fell unconscious himself, Garuda. Then Lord lifted him up. The Lord left his paduka. Imagine, see, this is with so much. This is the Bhakta Vatsala. Lord is always thinking of his devotee, how to protect, whether it's Draupadi or Pandavas, Prahlad Maharaj, you name it. All examples you can see how Lord protects, always reciprocating with those who are really surrendered, really taken shelter, completely, fully. Say here, that's what happened. Gajendra remembered, understood that there is no other shelter, only Vidhaka. Supreme Lord only can protect me from this condition. Then immediately, right away, Tat Kshana, not a single moment. That's why he was hurry. He didn't tell Lakshmi Devi where he's going. He immediately told Garuda, you go at my mind speed. He couldn't go at that speed. Then immediately he fell unconscious. Then he took Garuda on one hand, left hand. Then he picked him up and then he went. He left his paduka also and in hurry. Then he went and then he gave his abhaya, fearless. As soon as he was close by, then he put his hand down with his Sudarshan chakra, showing that don't be afraid, don't cry. I'm here now. स अंत सरसि उरुबलेन गृहीत आप्तो दृष्ट्वा गरुत्मति हरिं का उपात चक्रम. Then Hari, Lord Hari appeared on Garuda. He showed upata chakram, Sudarshan chakra. He showed, showing to him, putting his hand down with the Sudarshan chakra. Don't worry, I'm here. So Antat Sarasi Urubalena Gruhitardo. The Gajendra has been that in the lake, Urubalena, very great strength of this Gruhit, this by this the crocodile. By then immediately Gajendra seeing the Lord, Društva Gurutmati, and Garuda Lord Vishnu is carrying Harim, immediately seeing, then immediately what did she do? Utkripshas Ambujakaram Giramah Kritsram. Immediately she took her that what you call, so how she eats. Gajendra, elephants eat like our hands. They have that thing. Ambuja, that is like hands. Utkripsa, immediately she picked up. She saw it because whenever we go to a temple, whenever we go to a guru, whenever we go to a king, whenever we go to a sadhu, one must take something. You cannot go with free hands. So there, that's why immediately she picked up a lotus. Utkshipya sa ambuja. Ambuja means lotus. Immediately picked up a lotus, offered to Lord Vishnu. Ambuja karam giram aha kritsram. Narayana Akilo Guru Bhagavan Namaste. She immediately offered her prayers. I am offering even though she doesn't have, she is very weak, she is about to die. But because strength, only strength is the Lord, our prayers. Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. She made offered her everything, her mind, body, words, at the lotus feet of Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu. So by simply offering, that's why here Prahlad Maharaj is quoting this Garuda's pastime, Lord Vishnu's pastime with Gajendra, Gajayotapaya. Many wonderful commentaries there on this Gajendra story. So how one must take something when we go to Sadhu, Guru and temple, Vaishnavas, and one must be always be protected by his Guru, catching hold of a devotee only. Otherwise, there is no possibility of liberation. How we should control our senses and austerity. By through our austerity, we can satisfy. Otherwise, so many yogis tried, Durvas Muni also tried, so many, Vishwamitra, so many, but nobody can control the senses by austerity. The proclivities will never go away, only by pure devotion, by the mercy of pure devotee only. And you can see the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Brahmana entering in Srivas Angan, where Rasa Leela happens in Srivas Angan, in Chaitanya Gaur Leela, inside, nobody is allowed, only confidential. Then Brahmana tried to enter, then Srivas, he begged Srivas. Srivas said, okay, you come in. Because this Brahmana used to take only milk every day, nothing else. Only milk he used to survive. Then severe austerity. Then Srivas Thakur, okay, all right, you come in, but don't say anything, just be quiet, stay on the back. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing his ecstatic dancing. Then he is not getting any feelings. Then he said, something is, I'm not getting feelings, something is happening. Anybody is here without my permission? Then Srivas Thakur said, yes, somehow I allowed. Because this Brahmana is a nice Brahmana who performs pure austerity, only drinks milk. Then Mahaprabhu immediately chastised him. Because this is not Siddhanta. Our Siddhanta is not simply by performing this austerity, as it is mentioned. Manye Dana Vijana Rupa Tapa. By simply by austerity, thousands and thousands of years somebody may perform, but that is not qualification at all. That's why immediately chastised Srivas Thakur. No, immediately they threw him out, Brahmana out, and then they locked the door. Because he's not qualified. The austerity is not to simply taking less food or not sleeping. No, austerity must be in serving the Guru and Lord. Austerity is to chant the holy name of the Lord. Austerity is to read, hear anything in connection pleasing to Guru and Lord. That is the main qualification. आराधनाय परस्य पुंसो भक्त्या तुतोष भगवान भक्त्या तुतोष भगवान only way to satisfy is that's what we can learn. Then immediately Lord Narasimha put hand on Prahlad Maharaj and then he's asking benediction. Then Prahlad Maharaj said very compassionate. We'll end with this verse. Then Prahlad Maharaj instructed, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. I'm very much concerned about because my Guru has given me so much. I'm concerned about all this living. Naivod Vijay Paraduratya Vaitaranya Tadbirya Gayana Mahamratamatma Soche Tato Vimkata Indriyartha Maya Sukaya Varam Budbhato Mudan. I'm looking at all these conditions, all suffering in so much in this world. I'm concerned about them. How I will deliver them? How can I go back? How can I go back? I'm seeing all of them. Naivod Vijay Paraduratya. I'm seeing all their suffering. Paradurat Vaitaranyas in this birth, death, old age, disease, ocean of material exists and they are suffering, then I cannot take this benediction. So this is not a quality of a disciple. Ideal disciple never exchange, never want anything in return. He's supposed to be a kincha. And master also shouldn't be offering any benedictions like this. He is not an ideal master, neither an ideal servant. Then Lord Narasimha is very pleased with him. Then he said, no, still you should ask me benedictions. Then he asked, okay, always be engage me in your service always and relieve me, my father, from the this sinful mentality and to these offenses to you. Then he said, that's already been given, granted. Then not only that, not only your life, 7 generations after and 14 generations before, 21 generations will be liberated. That's why you see that in Prahlad Maharaj case, 2 instances, you will see that special case. Lord Narasimha put his hand on his head, and then there's a cheersni. So he put on his head and he's massaging his head, and Prahlad Maharaj is crying, tears are flowing. So such a humble mode is very much affectionate. Lord Narasimha was so much angry, but he was very peaceful. Immediately he was satisfied by seeing Prahlad Maharaj. Immediately like a cuddling, and hugging, and then he's engaging in that loving relationship. The second thing is Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj. Two out of 12 Mahajanas in the same family, Prahlad Maharaj and Bali Maharaj. Both are the same. Prahlad Maharaj's son is Virojana, Virojana's son is Bali Maharaj. Both are exalted Mahajanas. Atmanivedan is Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj is Parana. There's two representation out of 9 limbs. Two are representing two aspects. And they are 12 Mahajanas. Out of 12 Mahajanas, two Mahajanas right here. That's why Prahlad Maharaj is the best of the devotees, exalted devotee. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching and learning, reading again and again, hearing this Prahlad Maharaj pastime and Dhruva Maharaj pastime. Because such an exemplary, setting an example, how he's not so compassionate, especially Dina Vatsala. So compassionate, he's always giving. He's teaching his Sandan Namarka and his demonic schoolmates. He's even didn't want to take any benediction, even at the after Hiranyakashipu, he's actually asking for father's forgiveness. He's asking for everybody how to relieve all these conditioned souls. And this is the ideal quality of a pure devotee, Akinchana Bhakta. So, in this way, we must understand. So, we'll conclude here. गंधराज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय भक्त श्रवण प्रहलाद महाराज की जय गौर भक्त मुंद की जय प्रभुपाद की जय. So much to say, but this is a vast subject matter of 10 to 7 Prahlad Maharaj and Narsingh Devs, but with a limited time. So sorry for taking a long time today. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Happy Narsingh Chaturthi.